All right, so today we're diving into something pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah.
It's about this restaurant. It's called Wellington's, and it's over in Johnson City, Tennessee.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I've seen some buzz about it online. Thought it'd be fun to take a look.
Right on, right on. What's got you interested in this particular place?
Well, there's one dish actually that's really caught my eye.
Okay.
It's called the Deconstructed Wellington.
Deconstructed Wellington. Interesting. So like a play on the classic beef Wellington.
Exactly, and I love a good beef Wellington,
Well,
but
yeah, who doesn't? Right, right.
but the idea of deconstructing it, that's what has me intrigued.
Yeah, I can see that. Kind of a bold move, you know?
Mm.
Not your typical menu item.
Right. So, I mean, what does it even mean to deconstruct a dish like that?
Well, basically it's about taking the dish apart, kind of breaking it down to its core elements, and then, presenting each element separately.
Mm.
It lets the diner experience those individual flavors and then see how they all kind of interact.
So like a symphony of flavors almost.
Exactly. Exactly. You get to appreciate each instrument on its own and then how they all come together in the orchestra.
I like that analogy. And
Yeah.
the review I read, it raves about how Wellington's pulls this off. They say, let me see here, the flavors were perfectly balanced, with each component showcasing its unique taste, yet harmoniously blending together.
Wow, that's high praise.
It is. But what's the chef really trying to achieve with this? I mean, why pull apart a classic like beef Wellington?
Well, there could be a few reasons. Sometimes chefs deconstruct a dish to highlight the quality of a specific ingredient,
Right.
or maybe they want to kind of challenge tradition, present familiar flavors in a new and surprising way.
Right.
In the case of a Wellington, I'd be really curious to see how they handle those distinct layers.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You've got the puff pastry, the tender beef fillet,
Junk cells, yeah.
that savory mushroom mixture.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you even begin to deconstruct that? That's where the chef's creativity really comes in. They've got to reimagine those components.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine like a perfectly seared filet, maybe with a sprinkle of sea salt, just to bring out that beefy flavor. And then
Right.
instead of being tucked inside the pastry, the duck cells might be served alongside, shaped into like a delicate mold or something.
Oh, I see.
And the puff pastry itself could be transformed into like crispy, airy shards for texture.
Crispy shards, you say. Now, that's an image that gets the taste buds going.
Right.
But, I mean, is there a risk in doing all this?
Hmm.
That you kind of lose some of the magic of the original dish?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, sometimes the whole really is greater than the sum of its parts.
Right.
Deconstruction can feel a bit gimmicky,
Hmm.
especially if it's not done thoughtfully.
Mm.
The chef needs to have a clear purpose, a reason for deconstructing. It can't just be about following a trend.
Makes sense. Now, this review also mentioned a side dish that sounded incredible. Sweet potatoes mashed with goat cheese.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, they described it as having, let me see, a creamy, rich texture with a delightful tang. What do you think makes those two ingredients work so well together?
Oh, it's all about that balance, right? The sweetness of the potato against the tanginess of the goat cheese.
Okay.
And there are so many different types of goat cheese to play with. A creamy chev would add a luxurious richness,
Mm,
while a crumbly feta would bring a sharper, saltier contrast.
right. So many possibilities.
Exactly. It's all about those nuances.
It sounds like Wellington's is really all about finding those unexpected flavor combinations.
They definitely seem to be pushing some boundaries in the kitchen.
And let's not forget about the presentation. The review mentioned artistic presentation at Wellington's.
Ah, yes. That's such a crucial part of the fine dining experience, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. When a dish arrives looking like a work of art, it elevates the whole meal. It becomes an experience.
Exactly. It engages all your senses.
And, it really lets the quality of the ingredients shine through, too.
Oh, for sure. Speaking of ingredients, Wellington's being in Johnson City, they're right in the heart of Appalachian farmland, right?
That's right.
Makes you wonder if they're incorporating local produce and ingredients into their dishes.
I think I remember reading something about that. They're committed to sourcing locally whenever possible.
That's fantastic.
So we've got this intriguing, deconstructed Wellington.
Right. Definitely curious about that one.
The sweet and savory combo of those sweet potatoes with goat cheese.
Mm-hmm. Delicious.
And that emphasis on presentation and quality ingredients.
Sounds like they're ticking all the boxes.
They really do.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, if you could deconstruct your favorite dish, what would it be? And how would you present it to highlight all those individual flavors? Something to think about, maybe.
That's a good one. I'll have to give that some thought.
Well, thanks for joining me on this deep dive into Wellingtons.
My pleasure. Always fun to talk food.
Until next time.
See ya.